Welcome back to the Shade Tree Certified channel, folks. As always, I'm your host, Jacob. If you remember a little bit ago, I worked on a D71 PX-24 that was having some really bad wiring harness issues, and I wanted to give an update on that video right quick. If you have no earthly clue what video I'm talking about, I'll put a link for that video, the original video that I'm referencing in this one, down in the description if you want to check that out before you watch this video, just to get a little bit of an idea of what's going on in this one. So keep watching. So at the end of that last video, I did order a wiring harness for that dozer, and unfortunately, I was not able to be the one to go back out there just because I was tied up on some other jobs. So they sent another mechanic out there to replace this wiring harness, and as you can see, it's the one that's got not one, not two, but three layover wires in it. And so the purpose of today's video is I'm going to unbox this harness, kind of drag it out, cut the loom off of it, and explore the problem areas that I saw in the harness that I think where the bad spots are, and just kind of give some closure and wrap that thing up, and just give a root cause of failure on why this wiring harness was having all the issues it did. On that last video, you saw that just about every time I touched that wiring harness and moved it around, shook it, or anything in any way to try to make a repair on it, it seemed like it just caused more and more problems the more I messed with that harness. Luckily, I was able to get those three layovers put on there without having even more 4, 5, 6 more stinking fault codes come active. And it just so happens when I ordered the harness, I ordered it unit down. Originally got like a 3 or 4 month back order lead time on it, but we ordered it unit down, and we ended up getting the harness in 3 days. Imagine that. Komatsu actually stocks them. They just don't want to turn them loose unless you tell them that your machine is literally down and needs the harness. So that's just some quick information for anybody. If you've got a machine and you get a intergalactic back order on a part, if it's down, be sure to tell your Komatsu distributor to order it unit down. And you'll need your machine model, serial number, and service meter reading, some other information. I'm not sure what information you have because I don't work in parts. But like I said, we did order that thing unit down, and we got it in less than a week. Man, it was a lot shorter than I was expecting. I was expecting at least a couple of weeks because they usually have to ship parts like that are like only unit down basis from Japan, and this thing, you'll see, doesn't have any Japanese shipping labels or anything on it. It actually was in stock in the United States. So let's go ahead and dig into this harness. So that harness part number is 14Y-06-41852, and like I said, this is the pull ticket for it. This is basically the location of where it is in the parts warehouse at Komatsu. So I'm going to unbox this harness, get it out here, and start ripping it apart. Pretty much how this harness is laid out in the machine, I've got it kind of half-ass, kind of laid out a little bit. And this part right here, it goes all the way up to the front of the machine. You have your differential pressure sensor connector right there. That's your def injector. That is your DPF temp sensor connector. You've got a terminating resistor right here, which I'm going to pull off and save because those always come in handy. Seems like I never get a hold of those. And then these are a couple of grounds. And then this is your actual OEM connector that connects on the side of the engine. Goes into the engine harness and then eventually runs back around and connects to the ECM. And I tied in right behind this OEM connector when I was doing my layovers back here. And this thing runs alongside of the engine, kind of up and over the back of the engine, then branches off and goes down around the side of the pumps. And this green connector right here was actually the one that I was having all the problems with. And you have 2 layovers that come down this way and then go that way to the OEM connector. And then you have another layover for the turbo outlet knock sensor, SCR outlet knock sensor, I think is what it was. And then it turns this way and then goes up over the back of the engine, along top of the engine, makes a turn. This goes up to your ambient temp sensor. And then I think this plugs into your mass airflow sensor and a couple other things on the hood. And then this one continues to run on up there. And this is your preheater right here. That's your power supply for your preheater, and that is the switching side of your preheater relay. And then this is your turbo outlet NOx sensor connector, NOx 1. And then this is all of your connectors for the SCR after treatment. This is your NH3 sensor, your ammonia sensor. This is your SCR outlet NOx, NOx 2. And then this one is your SCR temp sensor, which is SCRT. So this is the portion of the harness, I think, that had the problem. I think the issue on this one was somewhere in between. I want to say it's probably right in here somewhere where it makes the jump over the back of the engine. And then on this other side, it was basically right where the harness makes the turn. It runs along the engine, kind of runs horizontal like this, and then makes a turn and goes up and over the back of the engine onto the pump and back down to where this connector is. So I'm going to take this harness apart right in here and trace these wires. Let's see, the original harness wires were, so the pink one I think was the power supply for the gosh dang, let's look back here. So the pink one, the pink one was the power supply for the SCR outlet NOx sensor. And then I want to say the green, and what other color is this? The green and the gray. I think one of those was for my DEF pump, and then the other one was for the smart relay power. So I'm going to take all this, I'm going to strip all this loom off of here and just basically just follow those wires all through the harness and see if I can find the bad spot. Well, I definitely didn't have to look as far as I thought I would. I was getting this loom and insulation and stuff off the outside of this harness, and I find right here that the outside wire loom is rubbed almost completely through that wire right there, that gray wire. And if you look down here, you've got all kinds of dirt and everything else inside of this harness that I'm assuming has gotten through the loom. Yep, there's a gap right there. So that is one thing on Komatsu that I would definitely recommend to them to try to fix and make better, is keeping dirt outside of the inside of these wire looms. Because it's all fine and dandy if you wrap it with this plastic corrugated loom, but if you do like they did, you can see right here, it's not completely wrapped. Like right here, I haven't messed with it. It's not completely wrapped in, tape. Like this spot right here, you can see right there. Well, that's just dirt. But these spots that they missed, your corrugated loom, see it's already rubbing through that tape right there. That's just the wire loom rubbing completely through the wire. I mean, it's pretty evident that that right there is what's causing the problem. But I'm gonna keep digging through this thing and see if I can find any other bad spots in it. But that's essentially, I mean, it wasn't very far. If you put this on the side of the engine, it was about 2 feet from where the OEM connector is to where I could shake this harness and change the resistance value of the of when I was ohming the wire. So you can tell that conductor on that harness is really green, corroded up, and I bet if I unwrap this and pull on it, it's just going to break apart. So that's a gray wire and a green wire, and I had a gray wire and a green wire right there. And I think if I remember correctly, the green wire or the gray wire was going back to the smart sensor relay box to tell it to turn on. And then I want to say the green wire, if I remember correctly, was the signal for the DEF pump to turn it on, because I had a code for it also. So I'm going to keep tearing through this. I'm going to get all the tape and stuff off there and see if I can, you know, find any other places. But that's right along the left-hand side of the engine if you're sitting in the operator seat. If you're sitting in the seat, it was right down here on the left side of the engine. And then if I were to guess, my next spot that this thing's going to be broken is either right in here in this bend between these two clamps, or in this bend up here. And then on up here further, you don't have, there's like, I don't know, almost a foot of that harness right there that doesn't have a clamp on it. Wasn't zip tied to nothing or anything. So I'm I'm betting I'm going to find that break in that harness somewhere around here, if not right there. My last resort is probably going to be up in here, but I'll keep going on it, keep y'all updated. There it is, folks. Not much searching. I cut this part open, and it's all wrapped with this fabric heat guard or protector or whatever that is, but it didn't take much looking up here. I mean, I just literally just cut this harness off, and I haven't peeled any wire tape off the harness at all. You can see this is how it comes factory. It's just loosely wrapped with electrical tape, and you can see right here in this harness, that pink wire right there is green and rubbed almost all the way through the conductor. Let me put my hand behind that so I can focus it. There we go. You got a couple white wires, a pink wire, a black wire, and then up over here, you've got another pink wire that's rubbed almost all the way through as well. And yeah, I think that's an easy tell that this harness is complete trash. I mean, I don't see any other alternative to fixing this machine other than replacing the harness. People would probably be like, oh man, why don't you just repair that one? That harness is... No, dude, we're not going to do that. For one, this machine's under warranty. Two, it's a rental, so we don't half-butt fix our own equipment. We're not just going to patch a harness together that keeps on and keeps on and keeps on having trouble and keeps leaving the customer stranded. I mean, that's just not how we do business around here. So, I mean, that one's not going to break, but it's corroded enough where it's not going to send power through there. And, yeah, that's 2 separate wires. So, we've got 3 smart sensors up there, and 2 out of the 3 have the power wires rubbed almost all the way through. So there's our issue. There's these 2 white wires right there. I think those go, yeah, that goes to that diode right there, and then the other wire goes to the preheater relay coil side to turn it on. And gosh, man, this harness is just hammered. So yeah, there we go. That's a pretty easy dead giveaway right there. So unfortunately, there's not much I can do with this other than box it back up. Hopefully Komatsu recalls it. I'm gonna zip tie some tags around this harness, like around these 2 right here. I'll just probably put a zip tie with a like a lockout tag, a used lockout tag or something on there, just so if they call this harness back, which I hope they do, they'll find that this is rubbed through and be like, oh yeah, maybe we should wrap our harnesses better. But I mean, golly, dude, let me see. It's those 2. So it's that one is rubbed through right here and right there, and then that harness one, let's see, it's these 2 right here are rubbed through. Let's see if that one's got any bad spots on it. No, it was saved. It was spared, unfortunately for us. These 2 got though. So I guess I'm just gonna chalk that up to they're just not doing a great job at the factory with wrapping their harnesses. I mean, well, it's probably not the Komatsu factory. They probably have a separate facility that builds these harnesses for them in China or Japan or wherever. And so, yeah, that's unfortunate right there. Man, we've done, I think, 5 or 6 D71 harnesses already that have had similar issues. I mean, nothing, I haven't seen one personally this bad. Usually they'll just have one fault code. I've seen them in the past have fault codes for the DEF pump or the DEF tank sensor, but this is the first one I've laid hands on that you fix one problem, another problem pops up. You fix that problem, another problem pops up. And it probably could have, well, actually, it ran about 2 weeks before the ammonia sensor started acting up. So that's probably the ammonia sensor and the SCR outlet knocks are probably right here next to each other. Without getting my meter out and ohming these wires to the end of the harness to figure out where they go, there's not really a great way to tell. But I mean, you got ammonia sensor, SCR outlet knocks, and then SCR temperature, all 3 right there in this bundle. And like I said, 2 of the 3 are freaking cooked. So it kind of sucks. There's no real way to repair that, and there's no real way to tell what machines are affected and what aren't. But I really wish that Komatsu would come out with a factory campaign on these where it's a fixes fail factory campaign up to whatever 5, 6, 7,000 hours. That way, if I was a customer and this happened to my machine, this particular unit I think had like 4,600 hours, but it has Premier warranty on it, so Komatsu still paid the warranty. But if I was a customer and my machine had less than 5,000 hours on it, I know I would be pretty pissed about this, because I don't know the cost of this harness. I think it's just a rough guess. It's probably anywhere from $1,000 to $3,000-$4,000. And then it took the guy they sent out there 3 days to pull the hood, pull the cab, replace this entire harness, and then put the hood and the cab back on, refill the coolant, charge the AC. You've got consumables and a ton of labor in that job. And then on top of that, it's just your machine's down for who knows how long. Like this thing, I was troubleshooting it and repairing the problems as I came upon them for, I don't know. I was out there on the job for like, I think 3 or 4 days. The first day I got there, I figured out it was probably the harness. I was like, I should order a harness, but I need to double check. And I went in there, double checked it the next day, ordered the harness, because dude, we're not running machines with overlays on them. That's a hunk of crap. Like, if you want me to repair your machine like that as a customer, I'll do it. But as a rental, it's just not how we do our rentals. We don't patch them and, you know, just get them fixed to get them running type thing. Doing a layover is just a short-term repair like this one was. But I did that first layover, immediately had another code, did another layover, immediately had another code, did a third layover. Luckily, it didn't have another code, but within 2 weeks, it was already down with an ammonia sensor code, and the machine was literally at lock low idle almost immediately. So it's just a sucky deal. Unfortunately, if this was a customer unit, it would be super unfortunate for the customer. But usually when stuff like this happens, we in Komatsu try to make it right. There's no reason a part like that, a main machine harness, that's literally almost the main machine harness. Like, it plugs into the cab, plugs into the pumps, plugs into the DEF pump, the batteries, all the way to the OEM connector. Literally has your entire after treatment system on it, and there's no reason that thing should be failing so prematurely. I mean, 5,000 hours is a 5,000 hour machine is basically, I look at it as a car with 100,000 hours. Like a good used car, if it has less than 100,000 miles on it, it's great. Like, I would, no hesitation in buying a machine less than 5,000 hours, unless there were extenuating circumstances where, you know, I'm rambling. But anyway, just wanted to give an update right there. As always, folks, I really appreciate you watching. If you made it this far, if you haven't seen my other video on this, I'll put a link for it in the description down there, just so you can see kind of what went on before we replaced this harness that I just tore apart. Again, thanks for watching. I really appreciate you guys helping me grow my channel. I'm up above, I think, right around 7,100 subscribers right now, and that's just freaking awesome, dude. I'm blown away at how quickly this thing has grown and how many subscribers I've been able to get. I mean, 7,100 is a drop in the bucket compared to some other people out there, but I really haven't seen a lot of other YouTube channels in the niche of specifically heavy equipment mechanic. There's a lot of car pages, there's a lot of DIY pages and all this stuff, but I don't see just a ton in the heavy equipment field, specifically for Komatsu. So I greatly appreciate it if y'all continue to like, subscribe, share, comment on the video, tell me what you think. Always appreciate constructive criticism. If you have criticism that's not constructive, keep it to yourself. Nobody wants to see that crap, dude. Nobody likes a troll. I mean, I try not to read all the comments. If I see a negative comment, I just scroll right past it. I'll like it sometimes, may even respond to it to drive my page traffic. So if you're commenting on it and you're being a hater, you're just driving the algorithm, dude. So do better with your life. Anyways, I'll say it one more time. Appreciate you watching. This is the Shade Tree Certified YouTube channel. I'll see you on the next one.